it's Vicki from Minerva. Now recently we had a new issue of Butterick patterns that have just been added to the website. So I've taken a look at the new issue, picked out some of my favourite patterns and paired them with fabrics that we have here at Minerva, just to give you some ideas on the sorts of things you could make with these patterns and what fabrics I think would make really good options to make them in. So in honour of today's video, I'm wearing my favourite Butterick pattern of all time. I love this pattern. It's number 5955 and it's just a really loose drapey, oversized pattern with a V-neck. This is the longer sleeve option, there's also a shorter sleeve one. I've actually sized down a little bit on this and you can see, it's still really loose and drapey. The fabric I've made this in is our Minerva exclusive sweater knit fabric in the print called Tranquil Leaves, and yeah, I just think it's absolutely, I love this pattern. It's still available from Butterick, it's a bestseller every year, so it's not just me that loves this one. So we'll tag the fabric and pattern below, so if you're interested in those you can check those out as well. So let's get stuck into the patterns. I've picked, I think it's 6 patterns, so there's lots of more new ones as well on the site to choose from, so we'll put a link below, so if you want to have a look at all the new patterns you'll be able to see them there on the site. So yeah, let's get stuck in. So the first pattern, this is a child's pattern for ages 2 to 8, so quite a good size range there, and I just had to include this. Oh, I love version A as it's shown on the pattern there, made in a red coating fabric with a black contrast collar detail, black contrast what look like cover buttons, and then 2 little really sweet bow details that have been made out of satin ribbon. Isn't that just wonderful? And then the other options you've also got, so view B has is done without the little bow details. View C has like this extra panel that comes out from below the collar. That's really pretty as well. Just such, oh, I would love to sew something like this for my niece. I think she would look absolutely adorable in that. And the fabric I've chose, like I say, I fell head over heels for this version. So I've gone for our red coating fabric. Now this is our vegan wool coating, so that means there's no wool in this fabric. It's made from synthetic fibres, but it has the look and feel of a wool. It has that brushed, really warm and cosy texture. It's quite thick and heavy as you would expect from a coating, and it's quite structured. Yeah, I mean, I would say that's a pretty structured fabric is that one, which I think would be beautiful for that coat, because those pleats at the front, it would really hold the shape of the pleats and the shape of the bottom of the coat, that sort of A-line shape. It would hold that really well and look very similar to, to the view that's sewn there on the envelope. It comes in a whole range of colours and it also comes in black. So if you did want to recreate that look on the envelope, you could also get just half a metre of black. Remember, we do sell anything from half a metre onwards here at Minerva, and all our fabrics are available in 10cm increments. So you could literally buy 0.6, 0.7, 1.3, 1.4, etc. metres, just exactly what you need, so you've no waste. So yeah, you just buy a small piece of the black, enough to make the main body of the coat in the red, and you could really create that look. We also sell satin ribbon and the cover buttons and all the other notions, interfacing, lining, everything that you would need to make that pattern. So I think that will be absolutely wonderful. And of course, if red isn't your thing, it comes in loads of different colours. This is part of our core range here at Minerva. We stock it all year round, all the time. And yeah, with it being a faux wool as well, I thought that would be really nice for children, just in case anyone's sensitive with wool against their skin. And it's going to be washable as well, which, practicality wise is probably a good thing for a child's coat. You're going to want to be able to wash it, and this fabric does wash and wear really, really well. So I thought that would be the perfect fabric for that pattern. Next up we have another child's pattern, but this time age-wise it's for a design for an older child. So this is going from ages 7 to 16, so children and teenagers on this one. So again, a good size range there. And this pattern has 4 different options, and they are all for different sweaters or hoodies. Now what I love about it is how they give you ideas on how to colour block all the different options. So view A, as you can see on the envelope there, the one that has the little tie detail at the waist, that they've colour blocked in black and white. The one at the bottom here, which is the most simplest design, view D, that one they've done in like a royal blue and a silver colour, and then they've done the sleeves in the opposite colourway on each side, so that looks really cool as well. On view B, which is one of the hooded versions, they've chose a tie-dye print for the centre, and then they've picked out different colours for the sleeve and the hood in a plain. And then view C, which was the one that I was inspired by. So this one again is a hooded option, quite simple really, but what makes it different is the seam down the front, that's where they've chose to do different colours on either side, and different colours on either side of the hood as well. So it really is like the whole garment is in half in 2 colourways. And totally inspired again by the colours on the envelope, and I know my niece would love these colours. She's always been into pink, but she's really into purple at the minute, and anything purple, if I made her, I know she would love it. So that's why I chose these colours. So this is our Minerva Core range loop back French terry fabric, really good quality. Beautiful cotton fibre, you can just feel the quality in this fabric. We've stocked this for years and years and years, and we have customers that come back for it all the time. So I would make one half of the garment in this beautiful deep purple, and the other side of the garment in this candy pink colour. Don't they just go really well together? But I thought there's enough of a contrast to really make a statement about it being a colour blocked hoodie. I think that would be really, really lovely. But again, this fabric actually comes in tons of colours, like tons and tons of colours. So whatever colour you want, I'm sure you'll be able to find that in the range. Next up we have a pattern, this is number 6916, and this is a pattern for all the family, so children right the way through to adult. So the children / teen sizes start from extra small to large, and the teen / adults goes from small to extra large. So in this pattern you have 2 views, view A and B, and they are both a shirt style that they are classing as a jacket. So I think that would depend on the fabric that you chose. If you chose a lighter weight fabric, it's going to feel more like a shirt, and if you chose a heavier weight one, it's going to feel like a jacket or a shacket, as they're often referred to. So yeah, great pattern. The fact that it's great value in that you've got all those size options right from child to adult. And yeah, I just think that would be, it's such a classic style that's really on trend at the moment. So I've chose 2 different fabrics to show you, to give you some ideas. So one being more on the shirt end of the scale, and one definitely more on the jacket end of the scale. So again, the shirt one, I loved the option on the pattern in this red check, and I found this brushed cotton on our site. Again, this is one we have stocked for years and years, and it's always a bestseller every year. It does come in lots of different checks and colours, so if red isn't your thing, there'll be plenty of different ones you can choose from. And so it's a brushed cotton, and it feels soft and fuzzy. I'd say soft and fuzzy, yeah, on both sides, but there's perhaps a little bit more softness on one of them. So if I was making this, I'd probably keep the soft fuzzy side on the inside, which would just be so lovely against your skin. It's going to be so just luxurious and cosy, and it's going to feel really lovely and warm. And I think that would be perfect for making a shirt version of this pattern. But then the other fabric I've got, so this was actually inspired by the smaller child's version on the envelope, and they are wearing a jacket version made in a Sherpa fleece fabric. Now we've very recently got this fabric in here at Minerva, and I just think it's really, really lovely. So it's a Sherpa fleece with that, hopefully if I hold it up you'll be able to see the texture on that. That typical Sherpa fleece-like texture. But what's lovely about this fabric is it actually features an animal print design, which is quite unusual. I don't think we've ever had anything quite like that in before. And it also comes in another colourway as well, which is a grey toned colourway. I really like both of them, but this one I decided to pick for the video. I think because it gives me similar vibes to the version that I really liked on the envelope. But yeah, I think that would be great. Obviously not just for the child version, for the adult version, the teenage version as well. It would just go with everything in your wardrobe. It'll wash and wear really well, this fabric. So it'll be the sort of thing that, you know, you can wear all the time, wash it in the machine, it's going to come out just the same. And yeah, I think it'll be a piece that you reach for again and again and again. It'll be really lovely in that fabric. So next up, I've actually got two patterns that work together. So these are patterns 6911 and 6912. And what the big four pattern companies have started doing in very recent issues is they have designed, it's the same pattern, both of which come in two size bands. So 6911 ranges from sizes 4 to 20, and 6912 ranges from size women's 20 to women's 38. So 6911 is the smaller end of the scale, and 6912 is the larger end of the scale. And we asked why they had split the patterns up. You know, like, why not just have them all under one number and have 4 different size options? But the reason is the drafting is slightly different, which it should be to cover that many different sizes. You know, you wouldn't want, or you shouldn't have one pattern with one block that's been drafted, you know, so far either way, because that's when things start to distort and skew at both ends of the scale. So they've got different, they've been drafted from different blocks, they're different drafting for each pattern, but essentially the pattern is the same style. Like I said, just drafted for different sizes. So this is quite, I would say, a traditional jeans pattern, and it actually uses the Palmer and Pletch tissue fitting method, which if you haven't used that before, it's a really interesting area of sewing in terms of achieving a good fit. And you actually use the tissue pieces to fit the garment, which you then apply to when you're then cutting out the fabric. So all that information is included in these patterns, and I think it's a really good value pattern for all that wealth of, you know, knowledge and experience that they pack into these patterns. And in terms of fabric, so it's recommending stretch denims, stretch twills, stretch cottons, even stretch cotton velvet, so and also corduroy as well. So I've picked, and that's the same for both patterns obviously, so I've picked our stretch washed denim. So this has, if I hold that out there, whoops. So this has 10% stretch on the width of the fabric. So it's not a super stretchy fabric, but it has, you know, a good amount of stretch across that width there, and then none down the length. And I thought that would be a great denim for this pattern, because I don't think you want anything too soft or unstructured. You know, it needs to be a denim with a good weight, which this one is. But then, with this being our wash denim, it still has an element of softness to it. Like you can see, you know, it's still a soft denim, but it's still got a good weight and structure to it. So I thought that was a really nice balance for this pattern. And the stretch element, you know, it's enough stretch to make that a comfortable pair of jeans to wear. Like I don't know if you're like me, but I live in stretch denim. all the time. If it's not stretchy, it's just not comfortable enough for me anymore. I think when you get used to a stretched pair of denim jeans, there's no going back, is there? So I think that would be a really lovely denim, and it does come in different colours as well. This is obviously the classic indigo, but there's different colours. So yeah, that would be a really good pairing on that one. Then next up we have, so this is a really beautiful coat pattern from Butterick, number 6917. There's different options in the pattern, different lengths. Some of them have buttons all the way down, asymmetrically to one side. The other has just two simple button fastening. It's got pockets, which are a shaped pocket that are really lovely. There's the option of having a belt around. But the thing that sings to me on this pattern is that the V neckline and these beautiful pleats that come from the shoulder seam. I think it's such a beautiful detail. And it also has princess seams as well. Now the back of the jacket, if you take a look there, you'll see that there are darts that go into a waistline, which creates shape, and then the bottom portion of the coat has a seam down the centre back, and it's a lovely A-line shape, which again it creates that fitted silhouette at the waist that cinches in and then just skims over your hips. I think that's a really lovely style, and it really suits, I think, the elegance that pleat detail brings. Now the fabric that I've brought to share with you, this is definitely at the the higher end price wise, but it is the most beautiful quality coating fabric we have ever stocked. It's absolutely gorgeous, and it's our luxury cashmere blend and wool coating fabric. So percentage wise, this has 65% wool, 20% cashmere and 15% nylon. So the 15% nylon gives it strength and durability, and holds it together well, whereas the wool content, I mean, it's so soft. Again, like I mentioned, I have a sensitivity to wool sometimes, but not with this fabric. It's just so soft, it is unreal. And I think a lot of that comes from the cashmere element. So yeah, 20% cashmere, that's quite a lot of cashmere in there. And it just, oh my goodness, it's silky smooth almost, which for a wool is just incredible. The texture on this fabric, it does have an ever so slight pile or texture almost. And I think that's again as well what adds to that silky softness. It's just, if you decided to make something in this, when you receive this fabric at home, you'll know exactly what I mean. It feels incredible, and the word luxury being in the title there is absolutely valid on this fabric. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's again one of our core ranges. We stock it all the time, and it comes in a whole selection of colours. I went with this really rich, beautiful blue colour, inspired by the envelope again. But yeah, I mean, I think, imagine like a classic black or navy coat in this, or like a charcoal grey colour. It would just be a coat that you would wear year after year after year, and what could be better than the most luxurious cashmere blend? Absolutely wonderful. So the last fabric I've got to share with you today, and pattern rather, is the Butterick 6915. Now this is a really cool, modern, slick suits pattern. So you have 3 different views in the pattern. View A, which is the jacket, and then B and C, which are both different trouser options. So for the trouser, view B is a tapered leg with a waistband, side zip and darts for some shape. And view C is just the same, except it's a wider leg trouser. So whichever, it's almost like quite a wide leg, slightly flared trouser. So whichever, out of those 2 trouser options you prefer, you've got that covered in the pattern. But the star of the show for me is the jacket in this pattern, which I think you could just make the jacket as well, and that would be a really lovely separate piece to wear, you know, with all your different Me Made outfits. And what I love about this, well, there's lots of details I love about this jacket actually. So it almost creates like a wrap over look that's asymmetric down one side with 3 buttons that fasten on an angle. So that in itself is very different, really unusual, and I love how it has a seam detail here, so it fits into that seam, you know, it's fitted here, and then from here it flares out, which I love that kind of style. And yeah, I think that will be, you know, you could wear it over the top of dresses that cinch in at the waist as well. Another detail I look is on the opposite side to where the 3 button fasteners are, there's just a single pocket there. So I love that asymmetric look, how it's just one pocket at the side, the buttons on the other. I think that's really cool. And then the other beautiful detail is the neckline. So I don't know if I've ever seen a jacket suit pattern quite like this before, but from the, I think it's from the shoulder seam, yeah, from the shoulder seam, it has a pleat at each side, and that almost kind of gives the appearance of it raises the collar bit around your neckline, and it just creates this really lovely shape. Really a tiny detail in one way, but it really creates a special look. And if you have a look at the line drawings on that, you'll hopefully be able to see what I mean with that. Yeah, fabulous pattern, and yeah, the fabric we've chose for this. So again, actually I've been quite inspired by the colour on the envelope. I think it looks fabulous in that sort of like power red colour. It looks brilliant. So I've chosen this is our heavy Burlington suiting fabric. So this is polyester fabric, so it's going to be you know, really easy care. You'll be able to wash it no problem at all. You know, it's the type of fabric that it wears really, really well. So for something like this, that you know, it's going to be a real investment of time making this pattern. You know, you know you've got a really good fabric there that's going to hold up to you know, to washing and wearing really well over time. It's definitely got structure and weight as this fabric. Now this pattern, yeah, it does require a lining, which you would expect really with a blazer like that. So you know, you could team that with one of our just like a plain red woven lining, or you could go to town and have something patterned and a little bit fancy inside. We also do a range of it's a paisley woven design lining that comes in loads of really beautiful like two-tone colours. One of those would be lovely under this. That would be somewhere in between, you know, it wouldn't be anything too loud and bright, but it would be, you know, something a little bit different to just a plain red lining. But yeah, I think that would be a really good option for that pattern. And this is again another core range, comes in loads of different colours. We stock it all year round. It's a really popular fabric, this one. One of our best sellers again, and yeah, I think that would be the perfect pairing for the jacket and for the trousers if you wanted to make the whole suit, or just the trousers, or just the jacket. So that's all the patterns and fabrics that I had to share with you today. So I hope you enjoyed having a look through the new pattern release. Did you like the ones that I picked out? Like I said, remember to go and check out the whole collection. We'll put a link below because there's lots of other gems in there as well. I've just picked, you know, a few to share with you today. So let me know which is your favourite pattern, which was your favourite fabric, which was your favourite pairing. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. If you enjoyed today's video, please give us a like and give us a follow. As always, everything I've mentioned I will tag below the video, so if you want to check out the fabrics or the patterns, all the details will be on those product pages on Minerva. Thanks very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again next time.